morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the badging pinning ceremony of Class 1702. I am Major James Roden, the Director of the Police Training Academy, and it is my honor and pleasure to present to you the members of the Class of 1702. Entry-level Class 1702 will officially end their first phase of their entry-level training and transition from the classroom to the training field. During this final phase, each recruit will receive personal guidance, instruction, and supervision during a specified on-the-job training assignment designed to develop professional skills, habits, judgments, and critical thinking skills that create efficiency in their performance. It is during this critical phase that the probationary officers forms their critical behavior patterns and work habits that will provide for the foundation of their law enforcement career. Before I go any further, I would like to introduce our dignitaries and command staff in the front of our room. The 50th Mayor of Baltimore City, the Honorable Pugh. The Police Commissioner of Baltimore Police Department, Police Commissioner Dale D'Souza. Director Drew Vetter from the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice. Now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce someone who is a tremendous supporter of the Baltimore Police Department, and we are grateful that she has had time to take out for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Pugh, Mayor of Baltimore City.
Major Roden, first let me just say thank you for leading this team of individuals who help us prepare our police officers for service. As you well know, this is one of the steps on your way to becoming a full-fledged Baltimore City police officer. This begins your field training, and we're very excited about that. Our hope is that you all will become the very best among our police officers in Baltimore City. We know you have a little ways to go, but we know that you will pay close attention to the direction that you will be given in the next 10 or so weeks, however long that is. Okay, something like that. And let me just say to the parents that are here, the family members, the friends, we understand that when these young men and women become full-fledged police officers, that when they leave their homes, your hearts leave with them. And so we want you to know that as much as they are committed to protecting the citizens of Baltimore, our hope is that we protect them as well. They're entering one of the greatest professions of all, public service, as public servants who will protect and serve the citizens of Baltimore. Again, I want to congratulate the Class 1702 on your step towards becoming full-fledged Baltimore City police officers. Give them a big round of applause, you all. But let me remind you all that you are public servants. You will pledge to protect and serve. You're also ambassadors for our city. When people encounter you, you begin the impression of Baltimore City. When visitors come to our city and they encounter you, you are the impression of Baltimore City. So we have high expectations for those who wear this uniform. So I want you to know that I will pray for you every day, that I understand the importance of this position. There is no greater position to hold in this city other than one who pledges to protect the people of our city, those who live here, those who visit here, and those who work here. Bless you all. I look forward to your full service as police officers. I'll be at that graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So now it's time, and my great honor, to introduce our next speaker. I'm going to go off script a little bit. I've known this gentleman my whole career. I've come up under his tutelage as a young commander. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Baltimore Police Department's Commissioner Dale D'Souza.
Good morning, everybody. You guys ready in this front row, in the second row, in the third row, in the fourth row, in the fifth row? You guys ready? Yes, sir. Mom and dads and brothers and sisters, nephews, aunts, you guys ready for them? Yes. All right. Well, I want to start by saying a couple of things. Number one is that it seemed like, to me, it was just yesterday I sat in your guys' seats. It was actually in police headquarters. It was on the 9th floor when I was in the police academy. And every single day for 26 weeks, I had to take the steps upstairs. We weren't allowed to take the elevator at all. We've come a long way since then. And it seems like it was just yesterday, which was actually, and I'm giving my age away, so no one take a calculator out and figure it out, but it was in 1988. So I actually joined the police department December 27th, 1988. I sat in your same seats. And I'm a little bit jealous because when I got to the point where I was able to get my badge. Does this come off? Okay. I'm up close and personal guy. So I'm a little bit jealous because when I was in your shoes on today's date, I actually, in my entire class, there's 38 of us. We just got our guns from our class advisor. He just gave us our guns and gave us our badge in the classroom. It wasn't a ceremony. I wish that my mother and father and my family was able to see that because it's a big milestone. And it's just a milestone. We have plenty of steps to go. Given my age away again, when I got my gun and badge, my gun was actually a 38 revolver. 38 revolver. So I went through a 38 to a 9mm, and now we have the 40 calibers. But I say that to say that you got to embrace this moment. You have a long journey ahead. You are not finished at all. I know you guys have another week in the academy, and then you go to field training, which is 8 weeks, correct? My field training was 4 weeks. So in policing, we're making sure that you guys are outfitted and armed and have the best training. The extended period of training for you guys is critical in policing nowadays, all right? But I just want to say 3 things. I want to talk about responsibility, relationships, and reduction. But before I say that, I want to say something about our mayor. Our mayor put me in office about 18, 19 days ago. And in those 18, 19 days, let me tell you what happened. In those 18, 19 days, there's been 2 police-involved shootings. The first police-involved shooting occurred where the CCTV camera actually observed 5 individuals right off of Park Avenue, which is about maybe a mile from where I live, arming themselves with guns in their waistband. And we had a young officer, a young female officer, working a midnight shift, and she has a 2-year-old baby at home. You know what she did? When she was dispatched to that location by CCTV cameras, and do you guys have 2-year-olds? Anyone with babies here? Raise your hand. She got out of her police car and she chased those 5 suspects with guns. She chased them. She has a 2-year-old baby at home. And then fast forward about a week or a couple days ago, we had another police-involved shooting where, unfortunately, the suspect turned around at a police officer. And then in between those 2 police-involved shootings, the mayor and I went to Shock Trauma Hospital because this is the work that you guys are going to be doing. It was a house fire on Mount Street. And 2 babies, a 17-month-old and a 2-year-old, were in front of us on the bed, the gurney, and we watched the entire shock trauma crew try to perform CPR on them. A 17-month and a 2-year-old baby lost their lives. And what the officers went through and what you're going to see it was something that you have to prepare yourself for. But I know you guys can do it because you guys have strong hearts. If you didn't have strong hearts, you would not be here today. So I say that to say that we have a great mayor, the best mayor in the country. And I can tell you a couple of things about her. She might be upset when I say this. She doesn't sleep. She does not sleep. You know why I know she doesn't sleep? When she calls me 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gonna tell you why she calls me. She calls me because she wants to know one thing. She always says it, are the officers okay? She cares about you guys. The entire command staff cares about you guys, and we care about you. We want to let you know that, all right? So my 3 things, responsibility. You're getting your handguns. There's a great responsibility with that. Responsibility at home, and who has kids, raise your hand. All right, there's a responsibility, there's training that you guys received. You're not responsible not only for the gun here in this building and when you deploy on the streets. It's critically important that you're responsible for your handgun at home. At home, it's critically important. Do accidents occur? Yes. We don't want that to happen with this class at all. The other thing I want to say is that with responsibility, you had that gun on your hip, and you may or may not celebrate. You may or may not tonight, tomorrow night, or when you graduate from the police academy 8, 9 weeks from now, you're going to have a celebratory drink. You're going to have your gun on your hip, and you're going to feel like you're invincible, right? Watch it. The drinking does not mix with weapons. It does not. You guys, I need to be perfectly clear with that. We had a police officer last night, I'm not embarrassed to say it, got arrested for DWI, and he had his weapon with him. I got to be clear with you guys on that. The second thing is the relationships. I need you guys to do me a big favor. We are in a critical moment in policing today, and it is your responsibility to help shape the new narrative of what's happening. And that can only come from each individual person here. I can't, as a commissioner, or Major Roden, as a commander, can't go and tell you to get out your car and I want you to have a conversation with someone at that corner store. It's your responsibility to do that. It's your responsibility to make that relationship. I did a listening tour last summer, well, before the school was out. I did a listening tour in Baltimore City. And it was really interesting because in this listening tour, I asked students at 3 colleges, 3 high schools, and 3 middle schools, I asked them, can you guys describe to me, and I just listened to them because I wanted to hear what they had to say. I asked them, describe the relationship with the police in your community. The overwhelming response was that the police don't understand us. So the first thing that went to my mind is, well, we got a long way to go. And the second thing that went to my mind is, why does it have to be us? Because when you say us, that means it's one side and another side. So you got to go back to that relationship piece. The other thing that these young men and young women said in the colleges and the high schools and the middle schools was that we really, based on one of the questions, we really look up to men and women in uniform, and we want them to mentor us. So they're looking for your help. And ladies, raise your hand, ladies. The women, the young ladies, put your hands down, that we spoke with in this listening tour, they love women police. They think you guys are superheroes. And guess what? You are, all right? The last thing I'll say, and if Commander Rowe didn't tell you I can talk a lot, the last thing I'll say is that this is on the fingertips of the mayor. This is on the fingertips of me. This is on the fingertips of all 9 district commanders. It's reduction, and that's reduction in crime. 2017, we had 344 homicides, unacceptable, it's period, unacceptable. We got to change that, and it starts with you guys. We need you guys on the major corridors being visible. Last year, in 2017, of the 344 homicides or shootings that we had, 53% were on major corridors. All right, there's 2 districts in particular that you may or may not end up in, the southeast and the northern. Both those districts, between the both of them, had 6 to 8 businesses that was responsible for 60% of their violence. Need you guys to get out and get in those businesses, build these relationships, okay? Last thing I'll say is that the mayor, she is the most innovative mayor in the country, okay? She put together an initiative to reduce violence. It's called the Violence Reduction Initiative. We started about 13 weeks ago, November 1st. And what this initiative does, ladies and gentlemen, it teams together all the city agencies in the city. And we go to one room in headquarters, 8 o'clock in the morning, every single day, with the exception of the weekends, every single day. And we sit there and we discuss city services. We talk about crime, we talk about lighting, we talk about health, we talk about youth, we talk about all the things that affect public safety. And the mayor realizes that although we all here are heroes and superheroes, we can't do it by ourselves, and that we need the support of the community when we do it. So are you guys up for this challenge? Yes, sir. Parents, is it okay for them to get their badges and guns today? Yes. You sure about that? Yes. All right. So congratulations. I'll see you guys in another week. I'm always on the streets. I wish you guys well, wish you guys safety when you're doing your field training. And like the mayor says, when you graduate 8, 9 weeks from now, I'll be on the stage right beside you guys, all right? Congratulations.
This is my first academy class that I get to badge and gun. My first graduating class will be next Thursday, which I'm very excited about as well. I have 26 years here on the police department. Born and raised in Baltimore, product of Baltimore City Schools, so my heart is Baltimore. To the families that are here, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for giving me your young men and women, allowing us to train them up to be officers, for the sacrifices that you are going to make, because you will make the ultimate sacrifices. You will have the missed holidays, the missed birthdays, the special occasions. So I want to thank you for your dedication to the Baltimore Police Department and the sacrifices that you will make and being supportive for these officers. So thank you. So this brings us to the part of our program long sought and well earned. Family and friends, you're welcome to come forward to take pictures. I'm now requesting that the badge of authority be pinned on the members of this class, and they be authorized to perform the duties of a Baltimore police officer in field training and under the direct supervision of a certified field training officer.
Class, attention! Cover 2. First row, right, take. Second, third, fourth row, hurry, right.
Officer trainee, Elise Bailey. Officer trainee, Mignon Barrett. Joe. Officer trainee, Jamar Brockington, Coppin State Police. Officer trainee, Michelle Burke. Officer trainee, Alex Candelaria. Officer Trainee Xavier Caraballo. Officer Trainee Cody Creed. Officer Trainee Adam Estevez. Officer Trainee Thomas Galligan. Officer Trainee Keith Gardner. Officer Trainee George Akopoulos.
Second row, attention! Divide, take!
Officer Trainee Brett Gibson. Officer Trainee Carlos Gomez, Department of Labor and Licensing. Officer Trainee Devin Good, Baltimore City Sheriff's Department.
First row, left, take! Parade, rest!
Officer Trainee Hunter Hellman. Officer Trainee Jordan Hoffman. Officer Trainee Philip Jones. Officer Trainee Charles Kane. Officer Trainee Dante Kane. Officer Trainee Brendan Kelly. Officer Trainee Andrew Lowry. Officer Trainee Jose Maldonado. Officer Trainee James Marsh. Officer Trainee Robert Maury.
Third row, attention! Line, take!
Officer Trainee Maurice McGee. Officer Trainee Elgardo Melendez. Officer Trainee Kenneth Morales. Officer Trainee Haley Neems.
Second row, left, face!
Officer Trainee
Left!
Obimbala Odesanya. Officer Trainee Eduardo Ortiz. Officer Trainee Ronald Owens. Officer Trainee Daniel Oxidine. Officer Trainee Armando Perez. Officer Trainee Jonathan Perosa. Officer Trainee Christopher Plummer. Officer Trainee Anthony Pujos. Officer Trainee Juan Rivas. Officer Trainee Lakia Ross. Officer Trainee Brianna Ruiz.
Fourth row, attention! Line, face!
Officer Trainee Jasmine Salters. Officer Trainee Robert Sanford. Officer Trainee Nadar Soldier.
Turbo, class, base, parade, fast.
Officer Trainee Joseph Shuck. Officer Trainee Theodore Simpson. Officer Trainee Davon Smalls. It's killing me, Smalls. Officer Trainee Davon Teldon. Officer Trainee Pablo Villanueva. Officer Trainee Arthur Williams. Officer Trainee Violetta Zarate. Officer Trainee Walter Zebulon. Congratulations, Top.
So at this time, entry-level class 1702 will recite the Code of Ethics, led by Officer Wilson, their advisor. On the day they were hired, each one of our recruits took this sacred oath. Today, as they embark upon their transition into the field, they reaffirm their oath before the people that they have sworn to serve and protect. This code summarizes our obligations to the citizens of Baltimore.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve the public, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all people, to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all. Maintain courageous calm in the face of danger. Scorn or ridicule. Develop self-restraint. And be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed. In both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and regulations of my department. whenever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be ever kept secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feeling, prejudices, animosities, or friendship to influence my decision with no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals. I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it in public trust to be held. So as long as I am true to the ethics of the police service, I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself to my chosen profession, law enforcement.
So we have reached the conclusion of our program today. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this special occasion to support the men and women as they move forward in their law enforcement careers. So let's give these officers one more hand of applause.